Alright, in this question we're told that what? Q, R and S are 3 points on level ground. S is due east of Q. Alright, so here my starting point, I'm starting to take direction from what? From Q. So this is my point Q, and I'm told that what? This is my north-south line, and then therefore this is my what? East-west line, and I'm told that what? S is due east of Q. Alright, so let's put S there. Alright, and we're told that SQ is equal to 45 meters. Ladies and gentlemen, we're also told that the bearing of R from Q is 42 degrees. The bearing of R from Q is 42 degrees. Alright, once it's 42 degrees, we know that it's somewhere in this quadrant. Alright, so, and the angle is what? 42, so that is somewhere what? Middle quadrant. So let's say R is somewhere in this direction. Let's say that this angle here is what? 42 degrees. And that this is my point R. Alright, and lastly we're told that the bearing of what? S from R is 110 degrees. The bearing of S from R is 110 degrees. Now the point that comes after the word from is the point R. So it's the bearing of S from R. I want to ensure that they're connected by what? A straight line. I just drew my north-south line, and this is my what? East-west line. So this is north. Alright, and bearing is what? The angle between the north-south line and the line connecting the 2 points. It is the angle between the north-south line and the line connecting the 2 points. And bearing is measured what? Clockwise from north. Ladies and gentlemen, it means that this entire angle here is equal to 110 degrees. Alright, we're asked to what? Draw a diagram to show this information, indicating clearly the bearings and distances given. Alright, I think that we have done that. Ladies and gentlemen, we're asked to what? Calculate the bearing of what? R from S. We're asked to calculate the bearing of what? R from S. Now, the point that comes after the word from is S. So I'm going to S and draw my north-south line. This is my north-south, east-west line. I'm talking about the bearing of R. What is bearing? Bearing is the angle between the north-south line and the line connecting the 2 points. Also, bearing is measured what? Clockwise from north. So what we want is this entire angle here. Alright? This is my north. Now, we know that what? This part of it is what? 3/4 of a what? Circle. So this part is actually what? 270 degrees. What we don't know is this piece here. Let's call it what? Alpha. Alright, so in order for us to know the bearing of what? R from S, we need to find out the value of alpha. Alright, now if we come back up to the top here, alright, I'm going to call this angle here, inside here, so theta. Alright, these two lines are two what? East-west what? Lines. And you were told that what? East-west lines are parallel to each other. Alright, so therefore you know you have to consider what? Parallel lines being cut by a transversal. We know that the angle between north and east is 90 degrees. So this entire angle here is what? 110 degrees. But what? The angle between north and east is 90 degrees. So this 110 degrees is equal to 90 plus what? Plus theta. Therefore, theta would be equal to 110 degrees minus 90 degrees. Theta is therefore equal to 20 degrees. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look carefully, you can see that what theta and what alpha, they form alternate or z angles. Therefore, alpha is also equal to 20 degrees. And the reason they are what? Alternate or Z angles. Therefore, the bearing of R from S is equal to 270 degrees plus alpha, which is what, 20 degrees, and that bearing comes to 290 degrees. Alright, now the last part of the question says that we have to calculate the distance RS. Alright, let's leave it X. So we need to find what RS to two significant figures. Alright, but before we can find RS, we need to find these angles. I'm going to call the angles A. We need to find this angle here, A. Call it angle A. And we need to find this angle here. I'm going to call it angle what? B. Alright, if you look carefully, we can see that this is what? A north-south line, and this is the east-west line. And the angle between north and east is 90 degrees. Therefore what? This 90 degrees is divided into two angles, which is what? 42 and A. It means that what? A is equal to 90 minus what? 42. It means that A is equal to 48 degrees. Alright, and lastly, ladies and gentlemen, we need to find the value of angle B. Alright, let's just draw a little line here so as we don't confuse ourselves. Now if we look carefully, we can see that what? A, B and alpha are three angles of a what? Triangle. And we know that the three angles of a triangle add up to what? 180 degrees. Therefore, angle B is equal to 180 minus A, which is what? 48, plus alpha, which is what? 20 degrees. Ladies and gentlemen, is equal to 180 minus 68 degrees. It means that B is equal to 112 degrees. Alright, now that we know the value of angle A, which is 48 degrees, and angle B, which is 112 degrees, we can proceed to find the value of what? RS, which we have what? Called X. Alright, in looking now at triangle what? RQS, first thing I notice is that it's a non-right angle triangle. And therefore, if I'm dealing with a non-right angle triangle, it means that to solve it, I'm going to either apply the what? The sine rule or the cosine rule. Ladies and gentlemen, if I look carefully again, I'll see that I only know the length of what? One side. Therefore, I know that the rule that I must apply must be the sine rule. Why? Because in order to use the cosine rule at all, I must have at least the length of what? Two sides, which I don't have. So it must be the sine rule. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to find a side. Therefore, it is what? X over sine of the angle opposite to X, which is what? A, which is what? Sine 48 degrees is equal to what? The known side, which is what? 45 over what? Sine the angle opposite to the 45, which is at 112 degrees. Ladies and gentlemen, I have what? One fraction is equal to one fraction across multiply, or I'll simply say that what? Here sine 48 is what? Divide. It comes over as multiply. X is therefore equal to what? 45 multiplied by sine 48 divided by sine 112. This is what? 45 times what? 0.743 that is sine 48 to 3 significant figure, divided by 0.927. Ladies and gentlemen, it means that x, if we calculate this out, just throw all of this into your calculator, we get the value of x, which is what, rs, to be equal to what, 36, and this is to what, to 2 significant figures. Alright, that is actually what, 36 meters.